Like to load a CSV file, comma separate file, or to load an Excel file, we have different connectors. Similarly, there is something called folder connector. Folder connector, something like folder connector is available in Power BI Desktop. Okay. Now we will see what is folder connector and why we need to use folder connector. See, in the real world scenario, what will happen is so here I'll just show you. So I have something called NC sales folder, NC daily sales. Yes. And here, likewise, right, there will be a common folder name. You have something called NC daily sales. So far, we learned about how to load different files, how to connect to SQL Server, how to pull a specific table into Power BI Desktop, or how to connect to a SQL Server table using direct query mode, how to call a stored procedure. That's what we have seen it. But is there any way, instead of loading the files individually, can I specify the folder name so that the Power BI Desktop should go and pick up all the files that are available under that folder automatically into Power BI Desktop? I repeat once again. Is there any way, can I specify the folder name instead of loading each and every file manually? Can I specify folder name so that can Power BI go and pick up all the files that are available in the from the folder? Let's say in this case, my folder name is NC Daily Sales. If you specify this folder name using a folder connector in Power BI Desktop, what it does is it goes and load all the files from this directory as well as the subdirectory of this folder, right? Of this folder also, it goes and picks up the files. Look here, in this case, I have in the April subfolder, I have another file. When you use a folder connector, it not only picks up the files that are available under your main folder, and at the same time, it goes and picks up the files that are available under the subfolder of your main folder. So in this case, the main folder is NC Daily Sales. What I do is I click on it here, right click on it, copy this. I just go over here and then I'm going to click on get data and you will find something. Okay, here the folder is not there. Click on the more. And there what I do is 1 second. It is opening that. Let's wait for some time. It'll be a little bit slow. Okay, don't think nothing is working. You have to wait. My God, take now it open. Look here. The first one is all, right? You need to look at the folder here. Look, can you all see it? The folder. We are going to work with the folder connector now. I just clicked on the folder. Here I'm going to paste the folder name, D:NC. This is the folder name. Okay. In this folder, what files are there? July.xls. And also in this folder, there is a subfolder APR. In this folder also, I have another file, right? So what the folder connector does is, it picks up the files from the main folder as well as the files that are available under the subfolder of this main folder, the APR. It goes and picks up this one also. So April, July, these two files will get picked up automatically when you give the folder name. The files that are available under this folder, the files available under the subdirectory of this folder will also get picked up by this one. I'm going to click on OK now. Let's see what happens now. Look here. The July.xls file is available under the main folder of the NC Daily Sales. This file is available under the subfolder of your NC Daily Sales, which is nothing but the APR. So April and July, these two files got loaded automatically. Did I load it separately each and every? No, right? See, this file and APR and July, these two files got loaded automatically. Let's assume that in this folder you have 20 files are there. If you have to load 20 files in a conventional way, you need to go to the get data. It says Excel file, you need to click on the Excel. You need to click on the get data 20 times to load 20 files. One after other only you can load it, right? But with the help of the folder connector, just specify the folder name, that's all. It goes and picks up all the folders, all the files that are available in the main folder, and the files that are available under the subdirectory of that folder also automatically. I'm going to use now. If you see here, you will see an additional button here. This is the common button you see when you load any file, right? You will find these three common buttons. So cancel, if you cancel, it will not get loaded. Transform data, it will, instead of loading the data, it will open up the Power Query editor. There you do some data transformation and then you load it, or you click on load. Okay, but when it comes to folder connector, you have an extra button, the combine. So what happens is, if you click on somewhere here, right, in the drop down, you can see combine and transform data, which means combine these two data set and then transform the data, which means combine these two files and then open the Power Query editor, or simply combine these two files data and then load it. So what I will do is, don't do anything, click on load. Now let us quickly understand what are the prerequisites to work with the folder connector. Does it work with the mix of all files? No, it will not work. The prerequisite for folder connector connectors are right. One is the folder structure. Okay, the folder structure should be organized well. Okay, and make sure that you have the consistent folder structure. Okay, and it, because the folder connector, it scans your the files that are available under the main folder and its subdirectories also, to find files that are matching some specific criteria. The data format should be common. Common data format should be there. Common data format should be there. What do you mean by common data format? For example, if you want to import CSV files, comma separated files, if you want to import CSV, make sure that all the CSV file in the folder have the same structure and column headers. Same structure and column headers. Okay. And the data type also. Okay, data types. For example, I have two files. Okay, in file one and file two. Okay, I have file called April, and I have another file, Excel file. Okay, and I have April, March. Sorry, April, May, right? May month. So I have two Excel file. So here the number of columns, whatever the number of columns you have, the same number of columns you should have it here. Okay, the column order need not to be same. Okay, there is an exclusion. Okay, but you need to have the column headers. Here also you need to have the column headers. You need to have the column headers here also. And for example, you have something like, let's say you have quantity, and you have something called product name, and quantity and price. And here it need not to be in the same order. Okay, this is your product, right? So let's say you have quantity here and price is there, and then the product, right? Product. It can be like this. Okay, what happens is, in the case of folder connector, when you load, but make sure that all the files available under the folder, in our case NC daily sales, right? This is the folder name. Okay, and in this folder all the files should be of the same type. If you are using CSV files, all the CSV files only should be there. And if you have a mix of CSV and Excel file, it will not work. It will throw an error. Okay. If you want to import the CSV files, make sure that in this folder and the subfolder, you need to have the CSV file. Or if you are using Excel file, all the files should be with the extension of Excel as well. You should not have mix of CSV and Excel file. Look here, in this case, look here, you have the July.xls. And for August month, I have CSV file. It should not have the mix of two different types of files. If it is a August file, it should also have XLS file. If you are using XLS files, or if you are using CSV file, you can use, you make sure that you are having only CSV files. Okay, how do I know that whether it's a CSV file? So let's say, in my folder, I have a mix of CSV and Excel file. So what you do is you can go to the Power Query Editor and you can filter it. Okay, that way you can make sure that you are selecting only the Excel files. April month Excel file, July month Excel file, and some August month I have CSV file as well as Excel file. Make sure that you are going to exclude the CSV file. You select all the Excel file, or if you want to use only the CSV files, use only the CSV files across this folder. In this entire folder, you should use only the CSV files. You're not supposed to mix CSV as well as the Excel file. Suppose the customer is giving you the data for August month as CSV file. He did not give you an Excel file. You need to convert the Excel file. That's all. Okay, convert as an Excel file, and you need to make sure that all the files you have in this folder, the subfolder, all having the Excel file only. Or if you are using CSV file, make sure that these folders should have only the CSV files. If you have the mix of both, you can go and filter it. That I will show you little later. This is one of the prerequisite. And the data type should be same. Okay, the file type should be same. If you are using CSV file, you can use the CSV file, and the data type should also be same. Okay, all the column order need not to be same. I'll write it once again. Column orders need not to be in the latest version. The older version, the column orders also matters a lot. Need not to be same, but the data type should be same. Data type should be same. Should be same. For example, in May, you have a column called price. Okay, in the April month, also you have a column called price in the Excel file. Okay, but in this file, you have loaded, let's say you have the price column with, this price column, it is in numeric format, the number type. Price is a decimal, right? Decimal number. But unfortunately, in July month, in the Excel file, the price got assigned with the text data type. When you combine these two files, what will happen in this column? Since the data types are different, you cannot load the text value into a numeric column, isn't it? It will throw an error. Hence, the data type should be same for all the columns, right? For example, you have price, quantity, whatever the data type is there in the first file, the same data type should be there here. But order need not to be same. For example, in this file, you have the column price is there and then quantity is there. And here you have quantity and price. While combining these two files, it automatically checks here quantity and where the quantity is there in the first file. Okay, you go and load this data here and load this data in this column. Column order need not to be same, but data type should be same. Price and quantity, whatever is there, the data type, the same data type should be there here. Okay. What are the other the prerequisite which I said? The second prerequisite is all files should be similar type. All files should be, if it is Excel file only should be there. All files should be same type. If it is Excel. If it is CSV file, CSV file. Don't mix the Excel with CSV, it will not work. But and at the same time, column names should be same. Column names should be same. This is another important. For example, here you mentioned price 1. Here you mentioned price. It will get confused. This value will not get loaded. It will create one more column, unnecessary columns. Okay. So make sure that the column names are same. Price and quantity names are same here. And sometimes what will happen, right? They use price, quantity, everything is fine. Here they put quantity and price. Data type, everything is same. And here they put the sales. Here they put sales amount. Here the column names are not same. In that case, you need to rename this column. After you load the data, you need to rename the column. Okay. That is the reason why we don't do combine and load upfront. What we are doing, hey, first you load all the files, each and every file. We will go and check in case of any column names or any issue with the column names. So this one's supposed to be sales, but sales amount is there. Rename it as sales. And then you do the combine, it will work. At the same time, make sure that the data type should be same. In this, you have numeric data type. In this, if you have text data is there, it will not load, it will fail. Okay. These are the things you need to remember it before you use the, or when you use the folder connector, make sure that all these prerequisites are met. In case that is not met, you need to fix it. Okay. How do you fix it? If the file is the Excel file, instead of CSV file, I have an Excel file. Open the file and see, oh, everything is same, but you can, while saving it, you save it as a CSV file. That way you can fix it. And other issues like data type, first you need to fix this one. Okay, convert this. You go and check why this column quantity got assigned the text data type, and you need to explicitly convert the numeric data type. And then you need to combine this one. Okay. And then the data type should be same. Column name should also be same, right? You need to do all the things. And then only you need to do the combine. Blindly, if you combine and load the data, it will fail. Okay. See, in the real world scenario, each and every file size will be at least 1 or 2 million records will be there. Hence, you need to be very cautious. 1 second. I'm getting prerequisites to be met. Okay. So now we have used the folder connector. I have mentioned the folder name, the main folder. Okay. That's it. And then I hit the load button. Now this one got loaded. If I go to the data view, see the folder name itself got displayed, right? It considered the folder name itself as a table. But in the data view, instead of seeing the data for July and April, it shows only the file name here, july.xls, april.xls. And these are metadata. So when this file got accessed, modified, created, what the folder path, this is kind of a metadata. That's all. What is the metadata? Data about data. So what do you mean by data about data? This is your data file. It gives me additional information about this file. So when this file got created, when did we load it, what folder it is available. Hence, these are called as a data about data. So metadata. This is the data. It gives me additional information about this data, and these are called your metadata. Okay, fine. So these are the technical thing, fine. But my manager is non-techie guy. He wants the reports to be created immediately. Okay, within 30 minutes, he wants me to create it. So what can I do now? The data is, we just loaded the metadata from this folder, but we are yet to combine the data from these two files. How do I do that? Now I go to the transform data. Here I'm going to select the NC daily sales because this is what I want to work. But here it shows something different here, content and name, extension, all the things. These are the metadata, whatever we have seen it. Fine. And let me just go here. Yeah, here we don't see the content, but there is an additional column called content, right? Rest of them are same. What I do is, okay, here I'm looking. Supposing in your folder, in the NC daily sales folder, you have some mix of JSON file, CSV file. In that case, what you do is you click on the drop down here. Click on the drop down. Supposing it is a, let's assume there is a CSV file. You want to exclude this. That's all. It will get excluded. Look here. But that is not a CSV file. It's both of them are Excel. Good. Click on OK. Fine. If you have a different file, you can go and filter it here. Supposing you have something like august.csv file, you go and uncheck it. Okay, you need to uncheck it. In that case, that file will get excluded. Now you got a solution, right? See, you cannot meet all the prerequisites upfront, right? So you will have a lot of hurdles. How do you overcome that? That's what I'm explaining it. Okay. Now what I do is I just select these two columns. Rest of the metadata, I don't need it. Right click on it, remove other column. This is a beautiful feature. Instead of selecting each and every column, whatever the columns that I don't need it, right? So select the columns, whatever I needed. Whatever the thing I don't need it, the columns, click on this one. In one shot, all the unneeded columns will get removed. Good. So what is the next step? The next step is the content. Here we can see something called content. Here, can you see this icon, right? Double down arrow. You need to click on this one. What it does is it is going to expand these two things, okay? While we establish a connection to Excel workbook. See, in the real world scenario, let's assume that you have 15 files are there, okay? When you click on this single icon, it will try to combine all the data, all the files data into single file. But here, yeah, you need to specify something like, sorry, here, transform data. Okay, in this Excel file, 2 sheets are there. This is another interesting thing. The structure of the file should also be same, right? That means if I open the Excel file, you have 2 sheets are there in each. Look here, sheet 1 and sheet 2, right? Sheet 1 and sheet 2. And here also you have sheet 1 and sheet 2. Sheet 1 and sheet 2. So in total, we have 4 sheets, right? Now the question is, yes, what Pavitra says is, let's say in July, I have 3 sheets. In April, I have 2 sheets. It will not work. Okay. You need to remember this point also. Okay. And I come back here. I simply, select the sheet 1 and sheet 2 here. So what I do is instead I click on this one, right click on it, transform data. Simply I transform data. It showed simply, right, how many sheets are there in both the Excel file. 2 sheets are there. I just right clicked on it and then transform data. Look here, in each Excel file, we have 2 sheets, right? Sheet on sheet, it shows all the things. Fine. Now you need to click on this one again. Before that, if you click on the cursor here somewhere next to the table, not on top of the table, next to that, in this sheet 1, whatever the columns are there, you can see it here, right? In this sheet 1, whatever is there, you can see it. But here, the column headers were not assigned correctly. Let us see here also. Fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this button here again. Now it shows the column name, column, something wrong here, right? So load more. So how many columns are, yeah, in total, we have 26 columns. It's fine. I'm going to click on OK now. Simply, I'm going to, okay, I made a mistake. See, each and every column was prefixed with data. I don't need this. I just click on the wheel icon here. So I'm going to remove the data here. Okay, simply I'm going to remove the data. See, each column got prefixed with data, right? So I don't want that to happen. Look here. Use, okay. No columns were found. Okay, I made a mistake. I just undo this one. Okay, here I'm going to do this one again. Using columns, you need to unselect this and use original column name as prefix. You can unselect it. Click on OK. That's all, right? And if you see here in the first row, the column names were not assigned correctly. Okay, but the column names were available in the first row, right? Order, right? Row ID, order ID, right? It is not available here. And then if you see here, this one, right? The name. If you click on the drop down, you can see sheet 1, sheet 2. Sheet 1 and sheet 2 from both the Excel files. You remember that. So, okay, I don't need this column. This is just for my reference. I removed it. Now what I do is transform, use first row as it is. That's all. This one will get promoted to your column header. That's all. Now the column names are there. Everything is there. And if I scroll down here, and I don't see anything. Let us click on the drop down here and scroll down and see. Look here, there is something called row.id. So all the values are there. So how many sheets were there in total? 4 sheets were there, right? At the end of each sheet, it will put the previous sheet's row ID. See what happens. It is there, right? In this file, we have showed 2 sheets. Even in the April file, we do 2 sheets. First, what it does is, it takes all these data. So how many records are 19 records and goes to sheet 2, and then it select, select this one. Sheet 1, you come back here. So here we have 18 records, right? 18 records by excluding the first row. And in sheet 2 also, we have 18 records excluding the first row. So 18 plus 18, 36. So in Power BI, while combining it, what it does is, right, it puts the entire thing here. So that the 18 plus 18, 36 records will come. This is fine. This is what is happening in Power BI Desktop. But the problem here is, while combining sheet 1 and sheet 2 data in a single file, in the sheet 2, we have the column header, right? It includes that one also here. We need to exclude that smartly. This one is fine. But again, the column names are, because each and every sheet, we have the column header, right? So hence, at the end of each and every sheet, it puts the next sheet's column header, and then it puts the data, right? So in this sheet, it combined both the sheet 1 and sheet 2 data. The problem is sheet 2's header also it displays here. So that is the reason why here I can see the row ID. I'm going to exclude this by unselecting this. If I unselect, what will happen? See, this column name, row.id is available under row.id, order ID. Actually, order ID, it should have only order ID, but in between the column name itself appears. If I exclude this one, what will happen? Obviously, wherever in this data set, wherever the row.id is there, right? Except this one, it'll exclude the entire row. Look here, it excludes the entire row. Look at it, put the condition row.id not equal to row.id. If we test one condition, that is enough. In that case, in that entire row, you have different column names are there. If I put one column, that is enough, right? Row.id is equal to, this row.id column should not have a column by the name of row.id. It can have the value here, but it should not have the row.id. So in that case, obviously, the entire row will get excluded, isn't it? See, smartly we excluded entire row data, right? The column name. So this one, I excluded it smartly, right? I filtered it. That's it, right? And then the next question is, yes, what she is asking is, sir, how do I check all the 4 sheets data got loaded? Pavitra, 1 second. So for that, let's check one more time. Can we see any other row.id here? Yeah, one more. Oh, yeah, we excluded that. Fine. And we'll go and check here also. The order ID is there. Yeah, it got excluded automatically. Very good. And I'll go to I'll randomly check some other column also. For example, in the sales column, everything is fine. Now what I do is I'll just click on the file, close and apply. Sheet to dollar, right? Sheet to dollar. Okay. I will come back to you, Pavitra. Her question is, we have loaded 2 sheets. Each sheet have 4. See, both the Excel file contains 4 sheets. How do I make sure that all the records got loaded? So here in this Excel, we have 2 sheets. Each sheet has 18 records. 18 plus 18, how much? 36. Here also the same thing. Okay, 36 plus 36, how much? 60, 72. 1 second, let me open this file. And here also 18 and here also 18, right? So 18 plus 18. 36 plus 36, how much? 60, 72. And plus this one, 73, right? And here it shows 90 rows, 90 rows. So let us see why it loaded 90 rows. 4 into 18, how much? 72, right? 72. And this column. Okay, let me just go here and check. Here, what I will do is, yeah, this is the one, right? NC daily sales. Yeah, I just refresh it. Yeah, I'm just checking which one. See, NC daily sales, right? Yeah, 1 second. 90 rows are there. How come? I just go to the transform. Here also we can check. Click on the count rows. This is the one will give you the correct answer here, 72. Okay, so it's correct. So 4 into 18, 32, excluding the additional column header, 72 rows got it. This is the one you can rely on it. It gives me 72 rows. Now what I do is I just go and close and apply. Okay, you might be asking this question. Okay, here 72, but why it shows 90 here? That's what I'm wondering. There is something problem here. Okay, I'm not sure if this is the one correctly reflecting that one. Okay, what I will do is I will simply refresh it. Yeah, see, you need to refresh it. Once it is not refreshing it correctly, right? Sometimes, yeah, we have to go extra mile. We need to use our common sense. Click on them. This will come, by experience. See, I just clicked on refresh. Now only it shows 72. There is something wrong. I think we need to recommend it to Microsoft. We need to bring it to their knowledge. So in the Power Query editor, it was showing only 72 rows. Once I close and apply, it should show, it should reflect automatically, right? Here. Maybe, yeah, in the model, it has to apply. Then what is the point in saying that apply, right? There is something wrong here. We can probably highlight. Maybe in this version, the upcoming version, they may address it, okay? So now it is showing 7 rows. Now you understood how to load multiple files in one go. Let us assume that, yes, Priyanka, there seems to be a glitch. You are correct, right? So in this case, to load a multiple, let's assume that in this folder, let's say we have 20 files are there. If you load the 20 files, how long it will take? And you need to go and click on it, the get data 20 times. To load, you have to load it one after the other. With the help of the the folder connector, you don't have that headache. It automatically goes and picks up all the files from the main folder as well as the files that are available in subfolder also in one go, right? That's it. Next step we have discussed, right? About the prerequisite we discussed, and also we have seen how we can combine all these sheets. Importantly, we have seen each sheet have 2 sheets in it. Each Excel file have 2 sheets in it. It takes into account of each Excel files 2 sheets, and in our case 2 Excel file 2 into 2 sheets, right? 4 sheets data got combined into a single file. If I have 3 sheets are in one Excel file, in another file I have 2 sheets, then it will not work. But in each and every sheet of your Excel file should have the common. Each and you have 26 columns are there in first sheet. Second sheet also you need to have 26 columns. The same thing is applicable for other Excel files also in this folder. And also we have seen how we can exclude different mix of files, right? In the Power Query editor, you can filter those files that you don't need it. For example, you have CSV files mixed with Excel file. You can simply use the drop down and unselect it. That's all. Okay, I would suggest you to practice this without file probably tomorrow morning itself so that you will not forget it. I will share it right after this session, this report file, as well as the today's this session video also. Okay, after this session, I will show it. Okay, probably by 11:30 p.m. I will share it everything. Okay, fine.